Are you a loser? Are you a freak? Do you need a lover? Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Don't bother me.
I'm super excited to talk to these two guests today on my first episode of Real Strugglers, where we talk to filmmakers and actors about their struggles working in the chaotic world of films. Jay Bhattacharya is a singer and actor. He's done a bunch of songs like Jana, Sunzara, Mine, and he's also acted in my web series pilot Pali Hill Struggler, which we shot back in 2019, and we shot another one in 2020. And Garima is also a singer and actor, like I mentioned. She's just done her first solo indie song called Irade, which is doing super well on all major platforms. Please check it out. She's done a lot of theatre. She's been in plays at NCPA, St. Andrews, Kingdom of Dreams, Prithvi. If you watch theatre, you probably have seen one of her plays. And she's also done a bunch of stuff on OTTs, like the biggest of which is Silence, which is a film on Z5 with Manoj Bajpayee, where she plays a crucial role. You guys should definitely check it out. It's a great whodunit. And she's also done roles in Netflix's Fame Game and Lionsgate's Jugaad-e-San. A little bit about how we know each other. I know Garima because she acted in my graduation film and we've been best friends since then. And I met Jay when Garima was doing this musical called Balle Balle, which was really great because they were singing live and they both are like...
Acting and dancing also.
Yeah, acting and dancing also. They're both like insane singers and actors, and that's when I met Jay as well. And Jay thought I was dark, so he enjoyed me.
Dark humor wise.
Yeah,
I just don't want someone to clip out that part. Jay thought I was dark,
No, they'll be like,
so he enjoyed
when I'll be
me.
famous, they'll be like, Jay is a racist. Why? Because he thought he was dark.
So he enjoyed him.
So I was watching a play of Garima's and I kept laughing at all the really fucked up jokes, which weren't jokes. They were just fucked up things that were being said in the play. And Jay was like, bro, your friend, dark.
He was fascinated. He was like, who is
dark,
this
bro.
guy?
And then obviously we hit it off, and then Jay's acted in my pilot, and we are eventually making a video called Shabana.
One day.
One day.
And Jay and I know each other also apparently from when we were really small.
Yeah, but
we don't remember.
No, yeah, we
Because
don't
of nepotism,
remember.
of
We have
course.
a picture or two, right?
We have one
2-3 pictures together when you were this small. And then now we have
Who was taller?
10,
More.
12 pictures. Now we are like this.
Who was taller then?
We don't know. So the thing is, we don't remember meeting each other as children.
Yeah.
We must have at some point because there's
We
proof.
have, yeah.
We must have. We have. I found it and I was like,
Is
I
this
saw
Jay?
a child. It's the same face, but it's a kid. And I sent it to him. I'm like, is this you? He's like, yeah. I was like,
Oh, we met back in the day. Nice.
Janmo
So we
Janam
go long
ka rishta
back.
hai.
But then we met at Balle
Balle
Balle.
Balle.
So she was playing we were playing the leads.
Not saying anything. No, okay. So I'll tell you some fun things about Balle Balle. It in a way felt like a performing arts high school because it was a lot of people that were good in singing, dancing,
Versatile.
acting, and versatile in different ways and different backgrounds. And we all came together for this musical, and it was really fun because I felt like a lot of us grew up. That was my first work experience as
Same
an
to
actor.
me also. My first ever audition.
Yeah.
Was
oh,
Balle
wow.
Balle.
And he got it.
I didn't get it initially.
Oh.
Later on.
Yeah,
Because
but
someone backed out, so I was the second
can't
choice.
say.
But of course, I was amazing in it. So I was like,
Yeah.
it was the best second choice they ever had.
And it was a crazy experience because we got training in singing, dancing, acting, fitness classes, very intensive for 5 months?
And then Delhi.
And then we performed and then we went to Delhi with the show.
So 2 years almost.
Yeah.
6 months training, 6 months performance, then 6 months training, 6
Yeah,
months performance.
that's its own podcast in a way, but it was really great training for us.
Lovely.
Because we
We had a lot of fun.
we had a lot of fun.
Too much fun.
And I've seen the show at least 30 times.
Yeah.
In two different parts of India. I saw it in Bombay and I saw it in Delhi. I was like a groupie. I would just follow the show around.
I think we learnt a lot because there are these instances where we would, for example, you have to find fresh ways to say the same lines every day. Then also when you're doing the same show every day, if something little hatke happens, then it's really funny.
Yeah, you can't
No, that's why I
The
like
theatre-
watching the same play multiple times.
Because
every
you
single
then
time
realize,
it's a new it's a
Yeah.
new thing. Something new happens.
But theatre really prepares you for anything in life. You have to be like,
Ready.
this is my prop and this is the line, and that person took the wrong line.
Invaluable now.
Yeah.
I can
And
do
that's kind of what theatre also trains you to do. By the end of runs, people know everyone's
Everyone's lines.
The whole script.
Correct, and that's so important, which people kind of also forget about in like films. Like a lot of actors only read their particular scenes, and if you're just reading your scenes, how do you know what the bigger picture is?
I've heard that Nasir sir hates highlighting. So I remember, like in one of my scripts, I had highlighted my lines, and somebody said, "Don't do this because then you train yourself to only remember your lines, and basically you're just waiting to say your line then because you're thinking of your next one."
You're not a good listener then.
Yeah,
Matlab,
you should know everyone's lines.
You might
should
not,
know.
this thing. Yeah, so that's
So I
a
stopped
good,
doing it.
And that's great training for both of you, like having had this experience, right?
Oh my god, yeah.
Do you think a lot of what actors and performers do comes from the need for external validation?
But the thing is, it's also a profession which is so personal. The way it always startles me how people are very like, they liked you. Like if you do an audition, it won't be like they liked your work, they like how you did it. Like in many other professions, it can be very like, oh, good job, or the report you handed in, or whatever it is. Here it's your face, it's you. You are the medium conveying the words and stuff. So it's really hard to separate your own feelings and validation from it, right? Because a lot of it is you'll do a take and you're literally looking at the director and you're like, was it okay? You need that.
Yeah, it's not easy. Like if you're left there to be like, go easy and just flow, you can't do it, right? Because you're searching for a.
You need to be okayed. Yeah.
When you're playing the part, then you can do whatever you want because this is you. You're the character. But when you're auditioning for it, you're always looking for, sir, did you like it? Oh, ma'am, was it nice? Can I do it like this? Can I do it like this? And then sometimes when it happens in one take, you always wonder whether I was too good
was it
or
too
too bad.
bad?
And I have always been one take. Like, they always take one take and I like.
So you're either terrible
and then
or you
I'm
suck.
like, I leave and I call and I'm like, yeah, it was nice. I did it in one take. But I have no idea
genius.
if they didn't like it or they liked it a lot. Because I have never gotten a call back.
And
yet.
also then the
But I
whole...
think you're a good actor. Like
I think I'm a good actor, bro. I know I'm a good actor. But sometimes what happens is I understand that also because you need to be matching the character.
Yeah, but also again, like when the whatever project or performance, it's for people to watch,
Right.
and it needs to like convey. You can't be like, I think I'm doing very good. Yeah.
If it's your project, you cannot settle for a character who's not suiting the part, even if he's a very good actor.
Yeah.
If the look or something is just not going, the vibe or anything,
Like it
then you
needs
can't do
to
it.
get conveyed to people.
Like
So-
I auditioned for this Babu and Flamingo.
Oh, I thought क्योंकि सास भी कभी
Usme there is a character called Dhiman,
Okay.
and he's doing a kick-ass job. And I went like I gave 3-4 auditions, but then when I looked, at his character,
Performance.
then I knew that it wasn't for me. I think. So I understood it's not.
But
meant.
sometimes you get a sense, when like you're being asked to test for something, you're like, I have a feeling that this is
This
just...
I might have done a better job.
Yeah, no, but also sometimes the other way around, you're like, this is not going to happen. Where you feel
Like for this, I felt in that he was probably the right choice.
For the
Also, what happens, I think, initially is you will get cast for things that you have a natural bent towards. That is you.
Yeah.
Because they are, it's always easier to cast someone that is the character.
Yeah.
It will take a really long time to be a person that you have to get a name and then be trusted, and then they can like cast you in something that's totally left of center.
Yeah.
And doesn't suit you. It takes a while to be like Leonardo DiCaprio, where it's like we put him anywhere and he'll do a great job.
when they're
Yeah,
writing
but then
roles essentially.
that's when you're already established.
Yeah.
Then they know your talent, your range.
Yeah.
Like Amir Khan has a range of 1 to 100, so that's why he can do whatever he can, and it always suits.
But also that's after proving himself.
Exactly,
So
because
initially
he's
there was this
established.
sweet
But initially
boy.
no one knew that. Initially they wanted him for that one part, you know.
Yeah.
So that is what happens. You just need a breakthrough, I
Yeah.
think, man.
And
And
I
then you
think-
can do whatever you want.
And I think initially when you start auditioning, you're like, yeah, because you that hunger as an actor, I can do this, I can do that also, I can do this also. And so when you get the brief, you're like, sure, cool, done. And then you work on it. But there are things that intrinsically you just are. And they're not going to take a chance. They're going to want to cast someone that is closest to what is on paper. Which is why
Because
over time...
it doesn't depend on you. You can
No.
do your best.
Like, if I have to play a girl from...
School.
school. Or I'm saying,
For
no,
example.
yeah, it's just if I am that age, it'll just your body language and all is just like that. Yeah, that wasn't your question.
No, but he's liking the
It's fine.
conversation.
Achha,
Because he
okay.
also auditions people. No? He's
Yeah.
also a director.
Oh, yeah. I forget sometimes. But,
Yeah.
I mean, even I've kind of like, I know what you mean, where like, in a way, it's everything is in someone else's hand and they are dictating what is right for the show or the film. Like, even when I go for like a job interview or something and people like say, no, won't work out. Like, I mean, I obviously hate the person for not giving me the job and like, I completely despise them and hold everything against them and hope the worst for them. Do you
But
guys
that's
feel the
also
same
fine
way?
to feel a certain way. And then next day, you think about what
No. There's a dartboard in my house with all the faces.
Nice. That's also another way to get over it.
Yeah. You do you.
But
You do you.
But how do you guys deal with it? Because I mean, like actors kind of have to put themselves out there all the time, and you get some, you don't get some.
Yeah.
How do you guys deal with rejection?
Bro, so for me, if it's a very good role, like if I know that okay, this audition like it's a lead or it's a parallel or it's for a big banner or something, big production, something, when I lose out on that, then it goes on in the mind for 3-4 days that shit, man, like this was a good opportunity, I should have done better or this, that, if I didn't get a call back. But otherwise, if it's just normal roles which I don't mind losing out on, it's fine.
And what about for you, Garima?
So, a senior actor, like not super senior, but a senior for me, initially had told me that like, look at you, what do you like doing? You like performing. You enjoy it. Look at auditions as a way of having a captive audience. You're getting a chance for 20 minutes or whatever.
And to work
do
on
a
your
scene.
craft.
Yeah, to do a scene and like play a character, and you have people
With
that are
different
sitting.
people and just boosts your confidence.
And
there's nothing wrong in auditioning. Like I love auditioning, but when you don't get it, that is when you feel bad and
But then also, but you have to also think that they want you to succeed. They want to find their person.
Yeah.
They're not sitting to be like, I don't know. What was that? Like, ew, she sucked. They want to be like, they want to find the person. So the better your audition is, better for them. So I think initially maybe I would have gotten too attached and like felt bad about certain auditions not working out and stuff. But I started to see it as like, I get to go and perform.
Now you just gotta
And forget about it.
Forget about it.
And the times where it does sting though, I think is when you come really close. So if it's a case of you've auditioned and then they've
3-4 times you've gone.
shortlisted you, and then because also you feel like close, you feel like a little ownership of that character a bit.
Yeah.
Which is silly, but then you can't help it. Where you're like, you start to visualize things for that character. That okay, if I get it, I can do this with her.
True.
Maybe like this one.
You prepare almost everything about it.
Because that's the scene work that goes into prepping for an audition.
Yeah,
as
so you get all these ideas and you're like, oh, maybe we can like improv this line into this scene, and you can't help it.
Yeah.
So I think that stings when it's like you get really close, or something silly where it's like you don't have enough Instagram followers.
But how does that really make you feel? Like,
No, but this is what
Which happens.
I'm not complaining, but this is
can't
something.
complain.
This is something which I feel is.
320 people who follow me are going to watch
I'm
this.
not complaining, but
I'm not
proceeds to
complaining,
complain
but
for
I'm
10
saying
minutes.
that this Instagram, follow, like you need to have a certain amount of followers and all is like really, really sad, for artists.
Yeah.
For people who are not, what if they're not into social media? They like doing like proper real work. And this is not against anyone. I don't think people who play a voiceover and act on it, like that dub smash and all. Basically, TikTok was just another like a higher version of dub smash, and even reels right now, a lot of reels I'm not talking about influencers, I'm talking about those actors on Instagram who,
Lip
on a
sync.
voiceover, they like recreate the moment. I don't think that is
Acting.
on that basis you can judge someone on a character. Like you cannot have that person play another character based on that what he's doing. If he can do something, like I love content creators, those funny guys or dancers and all that. Instagram and social media is for them. I
But there's some
really believe that.
creativity and
Yeah,
narrative.
they are very creative, but
Yeah.
people who are like already doing something and then doing just replacing it is not creative.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree with you, and it takes a lot of time for someone to actually be an actor. Like you
Of
have
course.
to kind of like think a certain
No,
way.
and you have to learn, like you cannot just go on. Like I completely believe you have to have some kind of experience, like theater or even a acting school or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you cannot just go and start auditioning. Like
It's not
if you
easy.
can, you should train
Correct.
first.
And it takes years for someone to actually become an actor, because being an actor takes a lot of intelligence.
I also think you need a lot of strength of the mind because to navigate day to day things like, I mean, when you're on shoot or you're at rehearsal,
Then you're
you
happy.
kind of have to, but you also you have to leave life behind and you need to focus and control your mind. And then also taking direction is a big thing that you learn over time. Like how to not take it personally. Because again, it's you and you are doing it. And then you're looking to the director and you're like, oh, was it? To be told something like, so that didn't work. To even be told like, Asha, you were trying something with that line. So that doesn't work. Do it. So aise bluntly people will tell you, and it's not about you. And when you're young and you're starting out, it's easy to be like, oh, I screwed up. Why did I screw up? Why did you do that? And then inside you're like, you're so stupid. Don't go down that spiral. So it's also a thing you learn over time to be strong, have a strong sense of self. Your mind should be in check. And don't be overly sensitive, and over
At the end
time
of
you
the day,
develop
it's a
that.
collaborative process, right? Like everyone is there to make the film better, and if a director
Exactly.
is giving you feedback, it's
Yeah.
only because they see it from a wider
From the
angle.
outside, you can think
Correct.
anything and it's not translating, and that's fine.
And you
No,
could have done
so-
the scene fantastically, but it may not be interpreted the right way for what works in the next scene or how the previous scene ended, because you're not necessarily in every scene in a film, right?
But that's the thing, and then if you get sensitive, you're slowing things down, you're hindering your next shot or your next scene or whatever because you're in your head too much. So I think a really big part of it I've seen is just like being strong and keeping your mind sharp.
But on this point only, I'm thinking about the technical aspect of being an actor. That because I said you need to be trained, Because sometimes what happens is if you're doing a very intimate scene, like a very close scene, you're actually talking to a pole, and not a actual human.
Yeah.
So that is where, if a director tells you in these things that, you do it like this, they have to understand that you're actually not talking to a human, you're actually talking to a plant or something. And you're crying to it. So, sometimes it gets difficult, but that is when the training works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've seen that a lot of people I assumed that there was a lot of this where people don't give you eyeline, especially bigger actors.
Yeah.
And when I did my first film, my first shot was with Manoj Bajpayee.
Nice.
I thought they would save it till later because it was like the biggest scene that I had in the film. And first day, also I didn't know that you have haq as an actor to ask also tomorrow what scene are we doing.
What do you mean?
I felt like
So you just show up on set, like,
You didn't ask-
unaware what you're shooting that day?
No, because I honestly felt like I didn't have haq because I feel like you build up and I was like, who am I on the set? I'm no one. I just come, I'll do my work. Vanity mil jayega to acha lagega. Otherwise, I'll share. It's fine. So I came with no haq, and I was like, they'll tell me. So they're like, so we're starting with the climax scene. I was just like, huh? And they're like, we're starting with that scene. And I was like, what? Okay. And it's just me and him. And my point for this was that he gave eyeline, he gave cues, and very beautifully. So when it's my close, he sat there, he gave the line with the right emotion so that the other actor could perform well. Because good actors realize that they know that the scene is not going to work if he's brilliant and I'm AVG.
I tell you what I've heard is I think Rani Mukerji, I don't know if it's true or not, but this is what I've heard. she can cry like this, you know, like just like you snap and she'll have tears and all. So that is like, you know, that is technical training. So you don't need to go into, so because see, time and money is also a thing now. You don't have time that, oh, actor roega but shoot karenge, you know.
No,
people
definitely.
don't give you time.
I love Rani Mukerji.
Everyone loves her.
I just think that she can do everything, and this is so funny that as a kid she was my favorite, but now as an adult when I see her films, I'm like, I was a very smart kid that I liked her because she can do everything. She can do a black,
brilliant.
she can do a K3G, she can do a
And
Kuch
she's
Kuch
so
Hota Hai.
natural.
Yeah.
She's so and she believes everything. The funniest, weirdest dance steps she believes in as much as she believes in a Laga Chunri Mein Daag or a black or
Chalte
Chalte.
Yeah, she does have like a huge range as a
Hum Tum.
Beautiful
Beautiful film.
And there's so much conviction and belief, but not labored. But at the same time, there's an effortlessness.
Effortless.
And,
Even her new film, you've seen?
Mrs. Chatterjee.
Versus Norway?
Not yet.
Oh, you should see it. She's brilliant in it.
So she's one of those
Amazing.
people that when I meet, I don't speak because when some people are too...
You're just awestruck.
You know, when you just meet people, even they can be very nice, but I'm like, what will I say to this person?
Yeah.
Moving on more to the topic of the show and
Okay.
talking about struggles. Did you guys ever have this moment in your like careers or in what you do, like in singing or in acting, where you're like, fuck it?
Never.
What about you?
No, never seriously. Always like...
Momentarily.
like chid jana type moment. It's kind of like having a relationship, right? Like it's like your career is like your boyfriend. So it's never, we've never broken up. But we've had like small arguments in that way. When you've just been like, oh, why do you irritate me so much?
But then again,
Like that.
for me, I've always had that vision that, you know, after I make money, like a lot of money, then I have a vision of what I want to do with it.
I mean, there's nothing like making money from something that you're passionate about. Like
No,
I see
you should
people-
know how to make money. That is for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Even if you don't, even if you've come to Bombay and you're staying alone, there should be some kind of side hustle where you should. And it's
Yeah.
not important that you need to work really hard to make money. I think you need to be smart in how to make money, in order to make money.
In our industry, don't you feel like, especially for people that like, when you go for a job interview and like not job interview but an audition or like or some sort of work, people kind of take for granted that they're giving you an opportunity and by hence you can be underpaid for it, and does that piss you off?
Yeah, it's a little like your dispensable kind of a thing.
And that sucks, right?
Yeah, but I do think that there are, because of OTT, etc., there are lots of different opportunities, at least a lot more now. It's not like there are these certain huge banners and you have to try and get a launch or try and be character actor. Those boxes aren't there as much. So I think there are ways to sustain a career and to have a side hustle that is in the field. Lots of people do production work or AD work as well, and then try acting on the side.
Yeah. I think every
Voiceovers
AD
are fantastic. I love doing voiceovers. Voice
Dubbing.
work is great, yeah. And you can also do a day job. I know a lot of people
I
that
think
have
you
day
can
jobs
make
as well.
money from anywhere, bro. There's so many opportunities.
No, people have to remember that passion is important, and also it's important to follow your dreams, but also at the end of the day, if you want to make it a career, you have to figure out how to hustle and how to make money.
But the
with
people
it.
that are passionate do find a way to make it happen as well. There are
Yeah.
so many different ways to make it happen. I think that I see a lot of people that kind of just want the fame or clout or whatever, that come for rehearsals and they'll be like, I want to do theatre or I want to do this, whatever. They'll come for one rehearsal. They're like, oh no, I have to work. There's work involved, and then you never see them again.
Yeah, and then excuses and all. But that happens when you're a kid, like, you know, 21, 22. Even I was
Yeah.
like that. I used to,
It's
I
all
got
right, you-
an AD job and all. I was never on time to the office. I was never this thing because mujhe to
You're
acting
figuring
karni
it
thi.
out, yeah.
Yeah, but then, you know, it's very difficult to do something which you're not into.
Yeah.
So, at a young age, it was very difficult for me also because I used to work with Sanjay Leela Bansali. I was never on time. Imagine being not on time for that guy.
They ever throw a chappal at you?
he didn't even recognize me. Like he didn't even know who I am, what I do. He didn't care because, you know, I never showed it to him that, oh, I'm passionate.
No, but
about
on a
film.
big film like that, you do have like 25, 30 ADs or something,
Yeah,
right?
there were like 14.
So no one noticed?
He didn't know this at all. I
Jay
was
was
just
just one of
another-
the 80s who are late.
No
in
one
that
knows.
ca-
Yeah,
that box.
he has no idea. Who
Like
I am.
honestly, like if like as a AD, like out of 8 ADs, maybe 30% are the ones that are indispensable.
Actually important.
Yeah,
But those people make the movie.
100%.
Like
for
they
sure.
are
Associate-
They
so
don't come one day, your film is fucked.
They
Your whole
break their
flow will get
backs.
ruined.
It's like my respect for ADs is like it's tremendous. I can't.
But especially the associate and the AD one.
First AD,
What is
yeah.
that? What do you call that?
First AD,
First AD, and even that director's assistant. He's
DA.
also very
DA, yeah.
important.
script supervisors.
Script
but
supervisors,
they are the
continuity
reason that the
dudes.
film.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a script supervisor.
Yeah.
You really were an AD.
I just gave them a name. Continuity dudes.
Continuity dudes.
Or
They'll come with the phone and they'll be like, आपने left hand किया था हाँ पिछली बार.
Oh yeah, I was doing continuity for Hansal Mehta when I became a
Little more
serious.
disciplined.
Were you
Then I
sheepish
was-
about? Were you very like?
But I was
"Sir,
so yeah,
आपको
but
ऐसे करना है.
but
I used to
the
love
best
pointing
part
out
is
when
Manoj
actors do
Bajpayee
it.
in that film he knew exactly. So I made a mistake and I told him कि अपने ring या कुछ दूसरे finger पे पहनी थी something like that. And he was like नहीं मैंने इधर ही पहनी थी आप एक बार check करो. अच्छा this someone else told me कि मनोज सर को बोल कि उनकी ring कोई suppose you know this finger में उन्होंने यहाँ पे पहनी थी. So I was just the messenger. So I went and I'm like this. So he got angry at me. That how did I like why am I doubting his? He's like मैंने इसमें ही पहनी थी तुम check करो ठीक से. And he got pissed with me. And I checked and it was this only. And I'm like क्या पागल है यार मेरे को फंसा रहा है.
And you know,
Yeah, good
a
insert.
couple of directors have also told me, like, I used to be super anal about continuity. I'd be like, sir, he did this, sir, he did that, sir, he did this. And like, I sound like a fucking like loser, like just complaining about all the actors all the time. And he was like, Karan, if they're watching the time on the watch and not watching the scene, I've fucked up as a director. Which is so true.
I
Like,
said this recently. I said this with I was on shoot and they were switching shoes because they were very high heels for the actor, and she wanted to wear the same shoe, just she had a little shorter heel. And they were like, people won't notice. I don't think anyone will. I was just like, if they're looking at your feet, your heels and a 2-inch difference, then we're clearly not doing a very good job.
Yeah. Because,
Yeah.
like, if you see
Yeah.
any Scorsese film, like, literally, you'll have a drink that's this full in one shot, next shot, you'll have a drink that's this full, suddenly there's a cigarette in his left hand, which wasn't even there in the previous
So
shot.
you're saying he doesn't this thing like,
Like,
he doesn't give much
care.
attention
Like,
to
literally, if you watch a Scorsese film carefully, you will find a lot,
Lot
at
of
least his
mistakes.
earlier films, you'll find a lot of continuity.
Yeah, but
mistakes.
that's what the point you said. If the scene and the writing and everything is so amazing, no
And
one
you know,
watches the props.
The
and-
only reason I know that is because I've read about it.
Yeah.
Like, I had no idea. Then I go back and watch it, I was like, eh.
Nice.
Also, I just want to preface everything by saying that this is the stuff that we have learned so far. We are very much in the kind of beginnings of our journeys.
Of course.
So this is like we're in a place where we've accumulated a certain amount of experience, but it's still we're still learning.
And honestly, with
I'm
any
still
form of
learning. I'm
art,
always learning.
you're always going to learn. You'll be 60 and you'll be learning because technology is going to change.
Bro, I'll be 70 and I'll be learning. Fuck 60.
Any advice you have for people who want to become singers and actors? Like, how the fuck do they start? I know drugs is a great way, like sell drugs. Arnab
Yeah.
Goswami advocates that.
Yeah,
That's how
like
you
just
break
sell
into
them
business.
and become rich and then make your own songs and movies and
That's
hope that you'll be a hit.
And you believe in smuggling, right? You said smuggle gold.
it. I said snuggling, I believe.
Nice. So I should be this thing and you should be
Like
the
a good snuggle.
good one. So my advice in singing is that I don't think you need Bollywood or any label to, you know, if you're a creator also, like if you create music or this thing, yeah, if you sing and you have a dream of singing in Bollywood and like the Hindi cinema and all, then I don't know what advice there is for that. But if you're a singer and you create music, just keep making music and keep putting it out there. कहीं ना कहीं से कुछ ना कुछ निकल ही जाएगा. You know, if you're good, you will be there. Even I think same goes for acting also. If you're good, you will make it.
And you will get better with
Now
practice.
or later, whatever it is, yeah, you'll get better with practice. Auditions is a must. Like you need to audition
And you can't get disheartened. Everyone
course
is going to suck. Like this episode probably may suck, and like the
Suck.
podcast
And,
may get better at one
Yeah,
point.
like,
Yes.
you know, and I don't get a lot of auditions lately because the whole industry has slowed
Don't
down a
say
bit.
this.
But I should get a lot of auditions, man. Like, on this podcast, I want to tell you, call me for auditions.
Guys, everyone tag Mukesh Chabra.
Yeah, please. And Casting Bay and Nandini Shrikant.
And
Do you
are
want
my
to just
favorite.
give the list?
Give the list of all the people they want to tag. What about you, Garima? What advice would you give?
I think
I'll
acting.
win on hers.
Okay. Acting is a little more systematic, which is why I understand that road. I understand a system pretty well in that way. Like, I can be a little academic about it because you know where you stand. You audition for something. If you're around what they're looking for, they'll shortlist you. Then they get into budgets and then dates, and then you go on shoot, and then they may or may not edit you out. You go and dub, and you know there's a process
But
and
how
steps.
do you, my question is, how do you start?
So-
Like someone who's 15, he's not even gone to the 11th class
which
yet.
Train.
which is why I feel like acting, we're better suited to give acting advice. Singing, music, I'm still figuring out because I feel like the indie space is really exciting and there are no rules. So that's still like.
No, but in music, if you
Exploring
create music, then you're halfway there. Like you're already doing it. Then it depends on people, right?
Yeah.
Then it depends on.
There's no
doesn't
formula.
depend on you.
Yeah.
For acting, I think you need to work on your craft. If you're not doing, like
But
if you're
that's
not
also
doing,
assuming a singer can sing really well.
But you.
yeah, if you cannot sing, then don't become a
Then
singer.
get
Like,
out.
don't be an auto-tuned artist, man. Like if you can create something different with your music, then you can do whatever you want with your vocals.
You have to also really want to do it and for the right reasons. And when you, there's that whole Venn diagram of I want to do it, I'm good at it, and also the training to back it up. When all of that is in place, then there's nothing that can get in your way. There are many avenues that you can pursue. I would always recommend theatre, but I don't really actually like
I
it.
would recommend theatre.
It's
a lot.
It's an actor's medium. So that's where you can really
And it's not
fly.
it's not that difficult to get into a theatre. Like, you know, even if you're not working on in a play,
As an actor,
you
you
can
can
at
do
least
backstage,
yeah, you can
eventually
sit there
get a
and
chance.
just watch and just
Yeah. And
like, you
it-
know, learn.
Be a
You
sponge.
don't need to be a part of the whole group. You can easily, not easily, I don't know if it's easy or not, but
No,
you
it
can,
is in a way.
Like, they are always open to, you know,
We're
take you in the group, and you can
always
just
looking for
and
young
you'll
people,
always learn,
new
always
people.
learn
Yeah.
over there.
And so you have to really want to do it. You have to want to put in the time.
Yeah.
And even if you're getting, listen, it's a huge deal also to, like, when we would do backstage and all, it was like, I'm getting to be here on a stage, like behind handling props, like
Yeah, that's also
value
fun.
it.
That's
It's
fun.
really fun, and it's a great way to learn. So whether it's, if you're more film, like inclined towards film, then whether it's ADing or things like that,
That's also
and then
important.
production work in theatre. I was just saying that initially you may have certain expectations, but then you kind of, as you audition and you work, you realize that the world doesn't owe you anything. We're all there to build ourselves up from the ground up. So you have to be very willing to do that in terms of work, and then you'll get to a level where you can pick and choose your work, hopefully. Like I started, like, I would do an ad where I was like a supporting cast in the ad, just somewhere around in one shot, and then an ad when it was like it was me and a celebrity maybe, and then I would do ads where I was the primary
Main
cast. And then you do a web series where you're there in one scene, and then you do a web series when you're in 3 scenes, and then maybe you're in 2 episodes. I mean, you have to
Yeah.
be okay
willing
with
to grow.
I do think it's important. I know a lot of
एक
people
झटके भी
don't.
नहीं हो सकता, you know, like,
नहीं.
हो
It's
भी
great.
सकता है,
हो भी सकता
हो भी
है.
सकता है, but you
Don't
should be
have that
open to,
expectation.
you should be open to experiencing everything.
Because there's also a fine distinction in, do you want to be a star or do you want to be an actor?
Yeah.
But it doesn't depend on you, bro. That's the problem. Like, if you just, like, okay, if you really believe in yourself कि मैं तो lead ही हूँ, मैं तो यही करूँगा, मैं तो वही करूँगा, उसमें खोना जाए ना, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If God had made a journey for you from here, like you start here, then this is how you go. And if you don't, you know, follow that, so you never know what is this.
Yeah.
You should just listen to your gut, your heart. If you think this role is, you know, nice and I don't care about the lead, do it. But if you're going to be stuck that, oh, मैं तो सिर्फ lead करूँगा, ऐसे नहीं होता है.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Because
and
what if you lose out on something which was made for you
Correct.
because you just want that directly? So you cannot.
And you can.
cannot risk that.
Yeah.
So from Ranbir Kapoor, I learned discipline, man. Like how humble and how disciplined he is.
Dude, Ranbir Kapoor is my favorite actor.
So
like
I
in
was,
the mainstream space.
yeah,
Otherwise,
same.
Manoj Bajpayee
For
is
me
my favorite
also,
actor.
I think he's brilliant.
Yeah.
But what I learned from him was because I just did one schedule of Besharam where it was just a dance song. But what I learned from him was his discipline, his willingness to learn all the time, to listen to the Karan, how he listens, how he respected his parents, because Rishi Kapoor and Neetu Singh was also part of the movie. Yeah. So it was great to see such a big superstar being so humble and so.
Yeah, that's
willing to
another
learn.
thing I was
That's
thinking
amazing.
about, humility, because it's very easy, like when you're starting off, to be like, chalo, I'm gonna get, and you have these expectations where you're like, okay, I'm just gonna get the kind of,
Yeah.
like,
And you always think that a star must be like egoistic and all that, but when you
that's
actually
really not
see,
true.
No,
when you
they're
actually see a
not.
star, and then that's like fun. Like
kindest.
I used to think that when I'll be a star, even I'll be like this, like hey, chal, ye, wo.
Yeah.
But then when you see people
How
like
they are.
Ranbir Kapoor, then it all dissipates that I want to be like him.
But I
the
think
future.
that issue of humility is only missing in not in everyone, but in a few people that are kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
They haven't
Most of them are
killed it
humble.
yet, or they haven't
Yeah, true.
fully made it. Like honestly, I've been to places where like I've literally hung out with this dude for like I've hung out at his house like 10 times, and then on the 11th time he's like, "Hey, nice meeting you, man. What's your name again?"
oh god, I know who this is.
I was like, "What a fucking truth."
Tell you,
I mean, I did it.
off camera.
5 minutes later.
Yeah.
You can get noticed with one scene also.
Right.
It can lead to other work. People will notice you, appreciate your work. Also, just being on set teaches you
It's
so
an
much.
opportunity which you can't miss out on, honestly.
I just
Opportunity.
anytime
Everything is an opportunity.
Everything is an opportunity, and with more experience, with more time, you
Yeah.
kind of learn
Like
which
I had
opportunities you want to take on.
Yeah.
I had auditioned for Raj and DK, some upcoming for Farzi. Farzi they did.
Yeah, they did Farsi.
So I had auditioned for that, and it was just one scene. But because it's Raj and DK,
Yeah.
they asked me, "Are you okay with doing a scene?" I said, "Who's the director?" And all. They're like, "Raj and DK." I said, "Yeah, I don't mind auditioning for it. I'll audition for it." And I literally did a proper audition. I didn't get selected, but I wanted to do it because I really like them, like how good they are. And it's like I wanted to maybe just get the part just to impress them. Maybe on set I can tell them or speak to them about something where they'll call me again for
Yeah.
something. I didn't get it, but hopefully I will in the future.
Yeah, but at the end
But I
of the day,
auditioned for it. ऐसा नहीं कि मैंने बोल दिया
and
नहीं
what's
नहीं
in your
करूँगा.
hands is doing a great job.
Exactly.
That's all. And someone. will see.
That's all you can do. Yeah, let's.
Now in the next segment of the show, and now we're going to play some drinking games. This game is called Who the Fuck Said That? I've picked the most random quotes from films said by actors, and the guests have to guess who the fuck said that. And if they get it wrong, they drink, and if they get it right, I drink.
I trust these men with my life, Senator. To ask them to leave would be an insult.
It's Godfather. Brando.
Al Pacino.
No, Brando in the beginning. Pacino said it
In Godfather 2.
in the second
Yay.
one. Oh shit. No, but I should get. I got Godfather.
You said
Next is me
Brando
only.
though.
I thought in the first thing when that guy comes, I'll do little.
जो अजनबी देश में सो गया, उसका सब कुछ खो गया.
I don't know this one.
अजनबी देश में
Oh, I'll give you a hint for this one. It's a Shah Rukh Khan film.
हाँ, दिलवाले दुल्हनिया ले जाएंगे. बाजीगर.
It's said by a female character.
बाजीगर में उसका actor.
Kajol. Bazigar.
Kajol.
Kajol.
So yours is?
No, I'll say Kajol also.
Manisha Koirala Dil Se.
Oh shit.
I love Dil Se.
Clearly.
No, but I don't watch it often. Welcome to the party, pal. How?
What the fuck? Like this, I'm supposed to guess. He just wants us to get drunk.
It's a very iconic line.
Quentin Tarantino film.
Welcome to the party, pal. Is it this one only, pal?
No, I'll give you a hint. It's an action film.
Kill Bill.
It has an actor who's now bald.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is
Mission
not
Impossible.
bald, bhai.
Publicly bald, baby.
Vin Diesel.
Arey, no.
Dwayne
Die
Johnson.
Hard. Die Hard.
But who said it?
That guy, yaar.
Who's the guy?
Arey, Die Hard.
Arnold.
नहीं.
I've never seen Die Hard.
You say Anand? Anand Schwarzenegger.
Die Hard का actor कौन है? I don't know.
Arey,
I've never
no.
seen Die Hard.
No, I know it. I'm just blanking on his name. I know him. I think he was in Friends and he was the guy who was
Okay,
dating
Paul
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis, okay. वो Rachel का boyfriend होता है.
हाँ. You know what I'm like good with these, but you've done some funny films. Every man dies.
But not everybody lives.
Not every man really lives.
किसने बोला?
Nicki Minaj ने बोला ये.
Oh.
No. He was convinced for a second. Wait, what's your
I mean,
guess?
it's a song of. There's a song Nicki Minaj ka.
Okay,
Everybody
I'll give you guys a
died, but
hint.
not
I'll give you guys
everybody
a hint.
lives.
The film has to do with Scotland.
Braveheart.
Who said it?
The guy in Braveheart.
It's the girl, no?
The guy.
Oh.
Tom Cruise.
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson, yeah, of course.
Mel Gibson. Sada.
Apna Mellu.
Okay, moving on to the next game before I get even more confused. In this game, the guest has to pick up 3 chits from the jar. Then they have to build a monologue for a minimum of 30 seconds. The chits would contain either a phrase or a word. It could be in either Hindi or in English. And they have to use all the 3 words. If they don't use the words, or if their monologue stops making sense, they have to drink. And if they do deliver the monologue, then I drink.
Extinction. Chal theek hai. This world is full of bastards. And very soon, this world is going to be stabbing each other. And that is the reason, not COVID, not COVID-19 or COVID-20. That is the reason we are going to be in extinction. Because these bastards who stab will end up being extinct. Because they will stab each other every day.
I think, Jay, you need to drink. Your 30 seconds are up.
Also, it's done, right?
Yeah, your 30 seconds are up. But Garima, do you think he should drink after that monologue?
No, it was fantastic. It made so much sense.
I was talking sense.
What sense
This is the game,
You
right?
said COVID-19 and 20.
But this is the game, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got
more
the
or
game.
less.
Yeah, you got the game.
1, 2, 3. Okay. I have castration,
Thank God I got.
thief, and ghost.
You can change the tense of the word. That helps.
Yeah, like I did stabbing. You know the meaning
So-
of castration?
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
I've always been a fan of ghost stories. So the other day I heard of this old house. They say that there's a ghost there of a woman. She's 83 years old and she died taking care of her husband, who was 93. Well, I went to that house to explore. I thought that I could see a ghost. I thought that I'd capture it on my phone, but then I heard a sound from the back somewhere, from the garden, and I went out and I saw a figure. And now I had a shotgun with me. I didn't want to use it. But something said, shoot it, because if you shoot it and it doesn't die, that means it's a ghost and you'll have proof. So I shot it. But it wasn't a ghost, it was a person. It was a thief that was breaking into the house to steal some of the precious, valuable artifacts that were lying there. And so I thought, what do I do? So I turned to my friend. I'd gone there with my friend. I forgot to mention earlier. Her name was Marjorie. I said, Marjorie, do something. And she said, I'll go talk to him. When she went to talk to him, then he began to molest her. He was a frustrated man. He was a drunk, and he started grabbing her, and I didn't know what else to do, so I castrated the bastard. I castrated him.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
This was the game.
This is the game.
You want to go for another attempt?
I used bastard also.
But guys, why don't you just say something to sign off, and any beautiful message or thoughts you guys have?
Thank you for watching. I hope you made it till the end.
Yeah. And thank you for appreciating, talent.
Yeah. I know that we had a lot of fun. I hope we made sense.
Yeah, it's just
We
always
tried to.
very light. But don't take your life so seriously. Just enjoy yourself, because that is what matters in the end, right?
Yes.
Happiness and money.
Thank you guys for watching our episode. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions for Garima and Jay, you can drop a comment everywhere, and I'll make sure they answer it. And if they don't like your question, they probably won't answer it. But like us on social media and subscribe to our channel and do everything necessary to promote me. I have 320 followers on Instagram. I hope at least 10 of you watch it.
My recommendation of film/series is that I think you should watch, that I really love. Some of these may be basic, are. I'm going to start off with everyone has seen it, but Lagan. Lagan, and then in brackets I'll put like the making of Lagan also, which is also on Netflix. Please watch it. Mughal-e-Azam, The Sound of Music, La La Land, and The Philadelphia Story. Yeah.
My favorite series of films, Munna Bhai, because I love Raju Irani. There's a show on Netflix called White Lines, which I really like. It's about drugs. So, but the show is really nice.
Selling it.
The show is really nice. And obviously Friends, Three Idiots, and Bhag Milka Bhag. Any Zoya Akhtar film, that is my favorite.
I was going to say, but I thought...
Excel films and Zoya Akhtar films. Dil Chahta Hai, Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, Dil Dhadakne Do, and even recently that The Hard, I really liked. So yeah.
The Hard.
The Hard is The Hard.
Yeah.
The hard way up.
Oh, I was saying The Heart. It's different brains.